So thank you for joining us today. We have Greg Coles in the house to answer any questions you might have that are club related. And I would be happy to, let me see if I have a way of unmuting.
Melody, the phone number you have listed here
Yes.
is not a valid hotline. It goes to a medical alert.
Oh my. Okay, well, let's change that I'll change it before we send it out.
Okay.
So let me see if I can unmute, if I have a way to unmute everyone. Everyone will get a link to the video. Everyone who received the initial invitation will get a link to the video and to the PDF for the presentation. It will also be on the website at some point. I'm not really sure how we're going to work that part of it out, but we are going to, we will get that to you. Greg, are you there? Do I need to unmute you? Let me see. Can you raise your hand? Let's see if Greg's here. Let me see if I can do a search for him. There he is. I got you. All right. All right, Greg.
Wonderful, thanks. Sorry, I was here and then I snuck away for a few minutes and I thought I heard my name, but I wasn't.
No problem.
I am back. So hi, everybody. I don't know what Melody told you, but if it was nice, it's true. I'm Greg Coles, the Director of Operations for the ACBL. So the club and the tournament director and departments are part of what's under me. So I just want to publicly thank Melody and her team of helpers, because I know she's got some people helping her out as well. No, Greg did not sneak out for a smoke. He hasn't had one in almost 6 months now. It'll be, what are we? 11 days away from 6 months of non-smoking. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Melody, and your team of helpers. This is really great. I caught just the last little bit. I knew we were full up, so I didn't want to come too early and take a spot away from everybody. So from anybody else. So I just wanted to pop in, and yeah, I don't know what you said, but if anyone's got any questions for me, I'd be happy to take them if you have a bit of time that you want to note to that, Melody. But anyway, yeah, again,
okay.
Thanks again.
I don't know. Let me see. Do I have an ability to unmute everyone? How do I do that, Greg? You would
Probably, you know what, when you have this big of a group, because you've got well over 400.
Just have them raise their hands.
Yeah, it's probably best to raise
hands. If you have a question, you can go and raise your hand in your little toolbar for Zoom. And we can unmute you if you have a question.
There's Phyllis there, but I can't ask her to unmute.
You can't. Oh, okay. Let me do this, Greg. I'm going to make you a co-host. I'm going to make you the host. There you go.
Oh, there's somebody in the waiting room, by the way. I'm going to admit Joanne Lang from your waiting
room. I'll watch that. You can take care of the gal.
Okay, I've unmuted.
There you go.
This is something I was called to the table at a game this morning. Is it okay to ask a question on that? Okay, so someone opened 2 no trump with a stiff 3 of clubs. She did have the 20 points, but a stiff 3 of clubs. And it was questioned, was that okay? And I felt it is, because the same rulings for 1 no trump does not apply for 3 no trump.
That's correct. For 2 no trump, you mean? Did they open 2 no?
Yeah.
2 no. Yeah.
2 no.
Right. No, that's fine. That is not illegal.
And they don't have to note that on their convention card. They can just, even if it's an understanding. Okay, thank you. You can mute me again. Great.
Actually, I think in the alert procedures, you do have to alert that you will do that.
Really? I looked on the convention chart and I couldn't find it anywhere. And it's never come up for me before.
Yeah. Continue your discussion, and I will look real quick in the document.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So do I mute myself now?
just stay quiet.
Yeah, or mute yourself. That's probably best, Phyllis, because it's hard to.
Yeah.
It looks like Faye's up next. So Faye, are you with us, Faye? Looks like you're unmuted now, but we're not hearing her.
Hmm.
All right, let's try Robert. Let's see if he's there. I've got Julie and Brian. We're just going to try and unmute all these folks. Do they have the ability to unmute themselves?
I don't think so.
No.
Let me look.
Okay, I'm sending them the ask to unmute, but I know some of these
Yeah,
folks.
me
are confused,
too.
So this is others.
I've tried to get Faye. Faye isn't there, but they're unmuted.
Yeah, so she must be having some audio issues. The other thing you
Okay.
can do,
Yeah,
folks, is-
I just allowed them to unmute themselves.
okay.
This is Robert.
Hey, Robert, go
Okay.
ahead.
This is a little off the track, but I think it's a very important topic, and that is, I would love to hear a poll that told me how many clubs are actually requiring evidence of a vaccination and how many don't require that. And I know that's off topip, but if we have a chance, I'd love to.
Oh, Greg,
hear
you love to do
something about
polls.
Yeah, I do. We could dig into, I don't know. I mean, you know, that's something that obviously when it comes to private operations of your clubs, we have to stay kind of at arm's length for a bunch of legal reasons. I can tell you just from, this isn't official, but it's a bit of a straw poll, I guess. I know a lot of the club managers that I've talked to, because I talk to club managers every day. I know a lot of them are. In fact, I would say that of the people I've talked to, the vast majority are, and most are asking for actual proof. I have talked to some clubs that are taking people on their word, but of the clubs that are actually operating, I would say the vast majority are requiring vaccination only, and most are asking for proof of it to be supplied.
Right. Greg, can you hear me?
Carolyn, yes, I can.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thursday, when you were talking about the number of club championships we could run,
Yes.
I think the number was 10, including 2 extra upgraded championships. But when you said we were starting from July through December, that really comes to 12. Was there a mistake in just the calculation, or are we not starting that?
No, the information that went out. So it's what it is, to help clubs with bringing folks back and to provide extra incentive.
Right.
So
Right.
over and above your normal allotment, right? So you normally get a club championship week every quarter. So you'll still get those 2 weeks between July and the end of December. But the actual form is very clear that it's an additional time, right? So you get an additional 8 weeks of club championship game
Oh, okay.
and 2 weeks of upgraded club championships. And I've
Okay.
had a few people ask me, well, what do you mean by a week? Like if we don't play Wednesdays, can we add, no, it's like
No.
basically, you can pick a day, but really what would make sense would be a Monday through Sunday period. So all games in that 7-day period, if you really want to do Sunday through Saturday or whatever, for the most part, it's like Monday through Sunday, all games. And then when you run these, if you want to run extra games that week, that's okay, right? So
Okay. Okay.
we've been clear on that too. For the rest of the year, it doesn't matter what sessions you're sanctioned for, as long as you're not in the same building with another club at the same time. You can run as many games as you like. If ACBL score, when you're setting the game up, says, hey, you're not sanctioned for this time, do you have permission to run a game? The answer is yes, you do.
Okay.
So
All
my
right.
poll was 78% are requiring vaccinations. There's a question. There's a question about ruling. What would you rule here? 1 heart pass, 1 no trump alerted is forcing all pass. The player who passed assumed there would be another bid is harmed. How would I rule? Well, if their agreement is that 1 no trump is forcing, that is on both of their cards marked as forcing, and the person who passed one no trump forcing, that this is something that they don't do that they don't do with any regularity. There is no assessment of damage, or there's no protection for, I mean, this is just a decision that player made. Even if the other side feels like they were harmed, as long as their partner was just as surprised as they were that they passed one no trump, they could have easily not landed on their feet. So as long as there was no unauthorized information at the table with their partner hesitating before they bid a no trump or squirming around or doing something like that, we would just allow that result to stand.
Right. I see in the chat someone's asking when will we know if we're sending directors out to tournaments? We have tournaments resuming in August. There will be some tournaments in August, and yes, there will be ACBL.
I can't wait.
Directors at them. That's a true story.
It's going to be a vacation.
Melody's got a tournament fairly early in August.
Yes, I do. I have one in August.
I offered to come, but she said she
San Antonio, y'all come on down.
All right. I don't know. Could we?
Okay.
Where the hands are at? We had Faye, Robert.
Yeah, we have Julia. You can unmute yourself now.
I think I've already
Brian?
unmuted myself.
Okay, Brian.
I hear you.
I have a smallish club, and a fairly common situation for us is 5 tables and a Howell movement. And 2 boards around is not enough, and 3 boards around is too many. So to get the game length about right, I take 1 board out on the even numbered rounds. So that means we have effectively a 23 board game in terms of the time it takes to play. So there's kind of unusual sit outs on situations. And one consequence of this is because I got so many boards that have a not play, I get a huge number of cases where ACBL score has to do make calculated adjusted score. And
so Brian, why aren't you just curtailing your number of rounds?
Well, my players like to have it so everybody plays everybody. Our host is retirement community.
Mm-hmm.
And about half of my players are really social bridge players who are playing duplicate because it's something they can do that time slot.
Right.
And I also have a few pairs who come from the surrounding community. They're not allowed to play yet because of COVID restrictions, but they'll be back next month. And so ACBL score, when it has all these large number of factored scores, it makes a mistake. And whenever there's a tie, whenever analytically there should be a tie, ACBL score makes mistakes and breaks the ties. And as a consequence, somebody who should share the master points for 2 positions, one pair gets all of the master points for the higher ranking position and the other pair gets cheated. And I've talked about this to some of our colleagues in Horn Lake, and they say don't fix it, but it's, I can put in an adjusted score and fix it. I can know what happens whenever somebody wins by 1/100th of 1 match point. I can check to see if it's an unfairly broken tie, and because I had players, I have a player who asked me how did somebody beat him by 1/100th of a match point, and in a game that small, it can't happen.
Okay.
And I've asked ACBL score to get fixed, and I get brushed off. They've been offered to fix it.
Well, I can promise you, I can't do it, Brian.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to solve that one today. The only thing I would say, I mean, if it's doing there's a mathematical formula it does when every board's not played the same number of times as other boards. So, yeah. Which is what you're doing. So it may be that mathematically correctly, the way we calculate rankings, that these pairs are not tied. They may have the same number of match points like raw match points, but yeah, so
I know what the math
Question
is.
is
I'm a
either-
computer scientist with experience in numerical analysis. ACBL score is making a mistake because it's not carrying enough guard digits. ACBL score is flunking the arithmetic test.
okay, I
Oh,
see what you're
dear.
saying. So it's truly,
All right.
yeah, anyway, yeah.
All right.
Your solution is 18 boards or 27 boards, or don't let everybody play everybody. That's kind of.
Yeah, I would just tell them they have to pick their poison. They can either play enough boards or they're just gonna miss a pair. I mean, rather than jumping through all those hoops.
Yeah.
And I'm the hoop jumper of the world, so there you go.
I got a few more hands. I don't know where, did Robin, did you get your question answered? I'm not sure.
No, just to do with the common game hands.
Yes,
We now introduce the red zones, and
yes,
now I'm going back to face-to-face. My face-to-face started in like early afternoon, and I was using the normal afternoon hands. Do I now, because of the timing,
right.
carry on with the red zones?
I would say yes. The reds were developed after the pandemic started because of the problems with the East and West Coast. You choose your common game hands based on what time your game ends in the
Yes.
Eastern time zone. So when you register with them, you would tell them that is the time your game is ending. You know, you tell them what time your game ends and what time zone you're in, and they'll let you know what hands you need.
Okay, so carry on with the red zones because of the timing.
Yes.
Okay, and I just want to say this was a fantastic afternoon. Thank you, really needed. And I
Oh.
appreciate all of it. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks, Robin.
Uh,
Susan,
Susan, I think Sue is on the list.
does she have? Susan, are you there? Mazzei, Susan Mazzei? You can unmute yourself.
Hi. Yes, this question is for Greg. I've
Okay.
asked it a couple times in emails and in chat and never gotten an answer. Do unit bridge centers need to still continue to follow the guidelines, COVID guidelines set out last October? Or are those going to be updated anytime soon?
Yes, great question, Susan. And they are being updated. In fact, we just kind of had a final meeting about it. What day of the week are we today? Saturday? I guess it was late Thursday afternoon. So the email is being drafted now. Should get finished on probably Monday, I would say, and you'll see it.
Okay.
Bottom line, don't take this as gospel because I don't recall exactly all the details, but basically what we're going to do is it'll be much closer to what it's with clubs, basically that you will be free to kind of do as you wish, but just a little more emphasis on the fact that you must comply to local policy and guidelines of the CDC in the United States or the equivalent outside of the United States. So, but yeah, look for that Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest by the time all the proofing happens back and forth.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, Carolyn, you can unmute. Let's unmute yourself there.
Thank you. Speaking of that, we're going to start July 1st, I think it is, and in brick and mortar. What about how are people feeling about the boards being rested a few days in case there's a contamination?
I just
have
don't
they
think
talked
I don't think we're prepared to speak to that, Carolyn. I don't think
Okay.
that that's in our realm of being able to say. We can't take responsibility there.
Well,
You
no,
just
I
you
was
just have to do
thinking-
you just have to do what you just have to do what you feel
Right,
is
right.
best.
So they're not going to address any of that. Okay.
Not really. I mean, like Melody's absolutely correct. We can't have an official,
Right. No, I
I
understand.
mean, personally, if when I did run a club, because I don't know if you all know this, but I was a club manager for many, many years. I mean, we had a set of boards for every day of the week anyway, so they only got used once a week.
Yeah, I like the
and this
idea
isn't
myself.
official, but that's what I would, if I wasn't doing it before, which I was, I would definitely be doing it now.
Right. Okay, great.
Regina, what about you? Can you?
Yes, I have a question about the 8 weeks of championship games. Will those include additional fees?
No, club championship games are all regular. All those extra games we gave you folks to help you with your return to face are at no extra charge. You can also run extra at charge games. You know, NAP qualifiers are all month in June, July, and August. You can run 2 per time each month. You'll be able to run charity club championships and fund games and whatever else you like. That'll all be available to you. But the extra games we gave you folks, the 8 extra weeks of club championship rated games and 2 extra weeks of upgraded club championship games are all at no extra charge. You still just pay your normal $1 US per table. That's it.
Okay.
I have one more question. When does the time clock start for having those games? Like, if I won't be opening until September or October, so it'll be 6
That's
weeks.
fine. Well, if you don't open until September, October, you'll probably be able to do it every single week for the remainder of the year, right? Because you've got those.
You have 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So
You've
you
got the
still
extra.
get 8 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
That's one of the reasons, like, I knew that Canada was a little behind the curve when it came to reopening, what have you. So that's why we didn't want to just do a set time where it would be all games. So we thought we'd give you folks a bunch of games and then you could pick. So that way, hopefully, and those of you in Canada, I think you'll see things turn a corner very quickly, because it sure changed here quickly once vaccine rates got up.
Right. Judy, you're up next.
Oh, did I understand that limit raises are now alertable and preemptive raises are not?
No, no. Yeah, no.
Yes,
Preemptive raises and game forcing raises are alertable, invitational are not, according to the new alert chart. Cindy, what's your next one?
Is ACBL going to be doing anything to help clubs get back to face-to-face by curtailing stacking in virtual games and the multiplier, so that they're not as attractive and people will come back face-to-face?
Yes, Cindy, some information went out about that this past week. So the multiplier is dropping on July 1st to half of what it is now. And we've talked about it a bunch already tonight here. There's going to be, well, available to you now, a bunch of extra games to help you with giving extra awards at the club. So that's kind of what you're talking about.
And you just answered this question a few minutes ago, and I guess I didn't understand. Where do we see what extra games you're giving us, like these club championship games and everything? Where can I find that?
Email went out this week to club managers, but we'll send another email just to make sure everybody gets a chance to see it if they've missed it. But yeah, the information's out there already.
I'm sorry, I just missed it. If it could be sent out again, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll send it out.
Maybe we can send that when we send the link and all the documentation for this presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you guys. Y'all were troopers. I have like 220 emails from people that are very unhappy about not getting into the class. So I have to go say my apologies. But anyway, it was good to have everyone here. Greg, thank you for coming and fielding some of these questions. We appreciate it. And Arlene and Lynn and Bradley, if y'all are still here, thank you so much. Y'all were a huge help. And anyway, happy bridging. Hope to see y'all face to face very soon. Come to Austin for the NABC in November. I'll be here.
Okay.
All right.
We have the web page for where you'll post the recording, and I've heard you say web page, but I don't know which one you're speaking of.
I'm going to say on acbl.org, probably under club resources, there are some videos that are there already for comparable calls and things like that. I would imagine our webmaster, when we send out the email telling you about it to club managers and directors, if you're a club director, you should get an email that will give you the information about the link.
Hey, thank you. Nice job.
That'll be sometime this week. I can't promise you it's going to be Monday, but it's going to be sometime this week. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.